Hi, folks. Welcome back to Search Geek Speak for another week. It's getting a little lyrical, I guess. We got Bill Slawski coming back on the show this week, SEObythesea.com, and Bill Slawski everywhere now, not William, right? Yeah, I think we got that all socially sorted now.
I think so. Welcome
back to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you, David and Terry. Let's talk about a slightly different graph that nobody's really talking about. A concept graph. Remember when Google purchased Applied Semantics?
Oh, do I?
Right?
That was a long time.
I'm regretting it ever since. I don't know how many LSI posts I've had to rave about.
So Applied Semantics is not LSI. It's an ontology. It's let's build this huge graph of nodes and edges. Let's make these edges bidirectional. Let's understand that when you talk dog, it's a bigger concept than Dalmatian or Boxer or Saint Bernard, but they're related concepts, and they have a flow back and forth, and we can map out all these concepts. We can associate them with one another. We can use this in a number of ways. It could have been used in AdWords and AdSense, but if you read the book In the Plex, they didn't actually use the Circla technology. But it is an ontology. It is a graph. It's nodes and edges point back and forth both ways, and so on. So you have the concept Bill Slawski. You have the concept this business that shows up in search results for my name, even though there aren't really. There's one mention of my name on the whole site, and it's William Slawski instead of Bill Slawski, and there aren't many links pointed to the site that might use my name as links. There are many other places on the web that have more use of my name, more links to them with my name in the links, and so on, than that page. But that page still shows up strongly. That ontology, that link graph of that graph of concepts creates that relationship.
Patents and other things would probably show up for years. Search engines, SEO, patents, papers, Google, Microsoft Bing. That's what my graph looks like. Fanboy a few times.
Right. So it's not an entity graph. It's not a phrase graph. It's a concept graph.
Yeah, and they've long talked about, like, we've both come across many a patent and paper that talks about relating concepts. You know what I mean? It's a very old standing. I think again it plugs in with the layer to the entities, the layer to the personalization, and everything else. A lot of personalization papers look at categorizations based on concepts and things of that nature. So.
Another one that
I guess the problem for SEOs is you can't put it in a tool yet and push go. You have to think about it.
Right, but that doesn't mean Google doesn't have those tools, and they do. The guys who came up with the applied semantic stuff have published a number of patents. One of them has a screenshot that shows related concepts, how they interact, how they relate to each other. There's an actual interface in there that's been built that can show you the relationships of those concepts. So we don't have it, but Google definitely does. The other graph that doesn't get talked about much, but is actually likely at this point part of Google's index, is relates to phrases, right?
Listen, I talk about it as much as I can, man.
Yeah.
For years.
So you're optimizing a page for a specific phrase. Google's gone out, looked at the top 10, 100, 1,000, whatever websites associated with that query, and looked at all the co-occurring phrases and clusters like co-occurring phrases, so that say search for Java, which might return the programming language, the drink, the island, the operating system.
See?
Yeah,
I always use
whatever.
Jaguar because you've got the cat, the football team, the operating system. But
yeah. So Google's looked at co-occurring phrases, clustered pages around different sets of co-occurring phrases, and can pull in different pages from those different clusters to show on the top set of results based upon that some level of diversification. So query deserves diverse results, whatever. That's one way to get there. But the associations between those phrases, the second generation of phrase-based indexing patents talks about how those
second generation is in the. I didn't check the last two that came out. What were the filing dates on those? Were they back from the original set, or are they the refilings, or is Anna even on those anymore?
Anna's on those. That's actually, I'd call those the third generation because that refines some of the stuff from the early days. Okay. The second generation is more of how do we include phrases within search engine posting lists? How do we make the associations between a phrase on one page and a phrase on another? How do we connect the bitmap between a particular page and a phrase? Yeah, so you think of term-based indexing and Google doing lookups on terms that appear in your queries. Well, they've moved on not just terms but also phrases. So if a certain phrase appears in a query, they can identify the pages those appear in. They can also identify phrases that tend to co-occur with that phrase and do boosting, re-ranking, and so on your search results. What I thought was interesting recently was were people talking about Penguin results and how if you appended something like minus www.
Amazon and whatever. Yeah.
You're transforming the query.
Mm-hmm.
You may be transforming it in a way that really doesn't seem to have an impact, but you're if you have a set of query results that are changed, and you're relying upon an analysis of that set of query results to do boosting and re-ranking and stuff like that. By changing the query, you're changing the relationships. You're changing this query no longer has co-occurring phrases.
Right, because nobody's going to have that other one anywhere on it. So
right.
So there's the test. See how many people wrote blog posts about it, and now it should start to change. Because they've now got it. But yeah, that makes sense. If it's doing that kind of thing as it goes from the query analysis, then obviously, of course, that's going to make a total difference in any kind of dampening, boosting, etc. that might have been going on.
Right. So, same with a local interconnectivity patent from 2003, where they were looking at how the top 100 or top 1,000 results for a certain query might have interlinked amongst each other and given a boost to some of the pages that had more links pointing to them. And people said back in the days, like Florida, if you appended that minus www.amazon.com, you would see the old results. So
it wasn't Amazon; it was some other nonsense.
Wikipedia, something. Right.
Well, it could be for one of them. You could actually put anything after the negative, and it did that, which probably means it's what you said. You're changing the system when a bunch of people start using bullshit negative.
Yeah, you're
operators.
You're changing the query results in some way that negates the re-ranking, the boosting, based upon the set of query results.
Or isn't triggering it, I guess, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that makes entirely sense, and that's why that anomaly would be showing up. It's entirely possible.
Right.
And you know what kind of flabbergasted me, though? Every frickin' article that mentioned that, not one of them mentioned that it also took Amazon out of the results. Which kind of says to me, do you really know what the fuck that thing is doing? Right?
Well, it was interesting that people picked up on it. It was interesting that they had the observation. What a number of computer scientists.
Yeah, but an idiot can still figure out how a grenade works. It doesn't mean he should be holding one.
Fine squirrel finds the odd nut.
These people who talk about information retrieval say human beings are great at identifying patterns and terrible at explaining why the patterns happen.